In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to use OpenAI text-to-speech API to convert text to human-like audio in Python. OpenAI speech-to-text API offers an easy and quick solution to convert your text into realistic, natural-sounding speech in comparison to other cloud services like AWS, Azure, and the Google Cloud. Now let's look at the pricing first before diving into the tutorial. For the text-to-speech API, currently there are two models available, TTS and TTS HD. The TTS model provides the lowest latency but a lower quality than the TTS HD model due to the way how the audio is generated. But in most cases, you're not going to retell the differences unless you're using some really high-end devices. Now, the way how the API is priced is by per 1,000 characters. For the TTS model, it's going to be 0.015 cents per 1,000 characters. And TTS is the model that I use most frequently. And for TTS HD, it's twice more expensive than the regular TTS model. Now, keep in mind that whoever use OpenAI's audio model to convert text to speech, you need to enclose that the audio is generated to the end user that the TTS voice they are hearing is AI generated and not human voice. So this is one new thing that these days many companies are doing to ensure that they don't assume liability in case of something happens. Now let's look at a couple demos before diving into the tutorial. Now, currently there are 6 voices available, and I'll only play the first 2 so you can get an idea
This
on
simple fact has
how
been
the
observed by humans for
sounds
thousands
of
of
voice
years.
sounds like. All right, so I just played the first one, and
The
here's the
park has a
second one.
beautiful pond with ducks and swans. In
Let
the
me
heart of the
play
city,
again.
there is a large park where people go to relax and enjoy nature.
All right, so that should be enough. Now, based on your use case, you may need to play around with each voice to see which voice suits your use case the best. Now, navigate to your OpenAI dashboard or OpenAI console. And if you're a new user, you want to navigate to openai.com and sign up for an account. For new users, you get $5 of credit to use within 3 months. Now, open the navigation pane and click on API keys. Now, you want to create a new secret key and make sure that you keep the key somewhere safe. You can also create an environment variable called OpenAPI key, as shown on the screen, and assign the secret key to the environment variable. And the OpenAI API will use that environment variable to automatically load the secret key to authenticate. Now, let's install the OpenAI Python package. Launch your terminal. And to install the OpenAI Python package, you want to type the command pip install OpenAI and enter. Now, create a new Python file. Now, name the file demo.py and open the demo.py file. The first thing we need to do is we need to open the OpenAI class on the OpenAI module, and we increase the font size. And to calculate the cost made by the API code, I created a function called calculate cost. So using this function, we'll pass the text string and the model ID. And here I have this very basic formula to calculate the total cost by the request call. Now, to connect to OpenAI's service, we need to construct an OpenAI client instance. Now, as I mentioned before, there are 2 ways you can provide your API key or your secret key to authenticate your account. One way is to manually provide the API key, and the other method is create the OpenAI API key environment variable and assign the API key. And that's the method that I'm using today. Now, for this exercise, I'm going to provide a demo text block. So I'm going to convert this text input into audio file. Then we need to specify the model that I want to use and the voice that I want to use. Now, to use the TTS model, we need to provide the model ID, TTS-1. And for voice, I'm going to use Echo. And these are going to be everything that we need to provide to configure the voice. Now we can make the API call by referencing the client instance, .audio, .speech, .create. Then we need to provide the model ID, text input, and the voice. And once we get the response back, I'm going to calculate the total cost as well as creating the MP3 file. And it's going to be demo-echo. And I believe that the response object is a TTS object. So from the object, you have a method called write to file, which will simplify the file creation. Now, if you ever use other cloud service for their text-to-speech service like Azure, GCP, or AWS, then you probably know that it's pretty cumbersome to setting up everything for their text-to-speech API. And using OpenAI's text-to-speech API, we can literally put everything together in 31 lines of code. Now I'm going to run the script, and let's see what happens. All right, so the conversion cost me 0.003 cents, and here's the audio file. Now, if I go into play the
TTS
file,
is an AI model that converts text to natural-sounding spoken text. We offer two different model variants. TTS-1 is optimized for real-time text-to-speech use cases, and TTS-1 HD is optimized for quality.
all right, so this is going to be everything I'm going to cover in this tutorial, and hopefully you guys find this video useful. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this video a like and click on the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.